enjoyed the book. I listened to the audiobook version. I can't have you sign that, unfortunately.
You'll have to buy another one.
I also want to say you put up a very good fight against Hungrybox. You deserve kudos for that.
So let me tell you just a little story about that. Right. So I think people know the lead into the story. Right. We had done the very first tournament for Smash Brothers. Hungrybox came in second. And so I'm on stage to give the award to the winner. Hungrybox is kind of butting into the conversation. And, he challenges me there to play. It's like, no, I'm not going to play you, but, there's a version coming out that's going to be available for, at the time, Wii U and 3DS. I'm going to practice on that. I'm going to come back and I'm going to kick your ass. So that was the setup. Now, Nintendo has a group called the Treehouse. This is where all of our product experts are. And we're getting a few weeks prior to when I'm going to play Hungrybox at a big event, at E3. And I go to the team at the Treehouse. It's like, isn't it about time for you to give me some tips and tricks, for how I could, manage this situation? And they're like, no. He's just gonna wipe the floor with you. There's nothing we could do. Just let it happen. And then the other thing that they surprised me. I thought we were going to play on the Wii U controller, right? Because at that year we were launching the Wii U version, and so I practiced on my own with a Wii U controller. Like, no, we're going to play on the GameCube controller, which I hadn't picked up in years. So, Hungrybox embarrassed me quite rightly after I had picked on him the year before.
Just a question on that: were people at Nintendo saying, "Well, why do you say that, Reggie?" Or did they just let's roll with it? How did they react?
Yeah. So again, here's a little insight. At all of our big public events, certainly a large part of it was scripted, but invariably something would happen. A comment would happen. Stepping on the Wii balance board and saying my body is ready. That wasn't scripted. Hungrybox, getting all aggressive after he lost that championship and me getting in his face, that just happened. So, more times than not, it all worked out. So no, I typically didn't get reprimanded by anyone for those types of statements.
Cool. I guess my question is around the process of writing your book, and it's specifically, you had an idea probably about what's been shared and what hasn't been shared. So how did you make those decisions about, okay, these are the stories I can talk about, these are the ones that I can share? Were you concerned about recourse or anything like that, or was it something that you planned out ahead of time?
Yeah, so the way I wrote the book, it's all from my point of view. It's all the activities and events that I had. And also, I wanted every story to have a lesson, right? There are tons of stories that I could tell about the company and what's happened behind closed doors. But as I said at the outset, that wasn't the type of book I wanted to write. And certainly that type of book would have had a very high level of scrutiny. It would have been, challenging for me to do something like that. So that's why I took this approach. Very specific stories that are punctuated with a lesson, a number of stories that maybe people know the outcome, but they don't know the backstory, and so sharing the backstory and how we got there would provide a lesson. So that's the way that I constructed the book. And as I was telling Emmy, the only quote-unquote positive thing from our time with COVID was that I was able to write every morning. Write, edit, think every morning. I wasn't traveling. I was in my house. And it really enabled me to focus and craft a book in a pretty timely fashion.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.